And welcome back, guys, to the next video of our GPT Researcher series. And we spoke in the last two videos about the importance of your LLM and your web search tool and how to set your environment variables to configure and choose from a wide range of different LLMs and different web research tools to power your research process. And in this video, we want to go a little bit deeper into our vector database part of the flow. So first thing we're going to need to answer is what is exactly a vector database, which is kind of this database that we're using to save all of your custom context, whether that be web pages that are relevant to your research or documents based on that are relevant on your research to your research. So let's have a look here at a small little visualization, and it'll help us understand what a vector database is. And it's really a very interesting concept. If you imagine a three-dimensional space, and within that three-dimensional space, you have different words, and each word has a different location in your space. So bicycle and car might be kind of close together. They both move stuff. And hungry and thirsty and drink and food also might be close together because they're all related to kind of, right, hunger and satisfying your hunger with food. So that's pretty much the basic concept of a vector database. But instead of it being three-dimensional, I think it's something like 3,000 dimensions or something like that. So you'll see OpenAI embedding model. I want to look at that for a second. So we have something in OpenAI API called the embedding model. And what the embedding model does is kind of take your text and transform it into into a vector database. So hold on, guys. I just want to try to find some examples of the embedding models over here. All right. So for example, you have an embedding model called Text Embedding 3 Large. And what that embedding model will do under the hood is it's going to take your content and it's gonna pin it in a specific location on your vector database space. So instead of it being three-dimensional, I think they have over here examples of dimensions. Let's see. You'll see the word dimensions a lot. Okay, it says here it's 3,072 dimensions. So that's a really crazy concept where what happens is GPTR will, of course, fetch some custom context for you, right? From the web or from your local documents. And and this piece of the flow specifically, it's gonna be hitting some sort of embedding model. So, and that's again, something that's configurable via your GPT researcher environment variables. You could choose an open source embedding model, or you could go with the OpenAI embedding model, which is what it uses by default. So, and the way that it'll work is it'll pretty much cut your text into small little pieces, send those tiny little chunks of 200, 300 characters into the OpenAI embedding model, and it'll say, here's some text. Where is it located within OpenAI's little custom grid? And what it will get back is a bunch of numbers. So hungry will be located at a specific coordinate, but instead of it, and that will actually be an array of something like 3,000 numbers. So instead of just latitude and longitude, which is just two numbers on the XY axis, this will be 3,000 numbers. And every single chunk of text will get its own location. And why is it important? Because then when GPT Researcher is then going to be running the research and actually crunching the data, it's going to be searching. So it'll generate some subqueries, look for related information within your vector database, and it'll say show, and I think it's called something like the nearest coordinate algorithm, which it will look for similar text, similar context based off of what you're researching. So that's kind of how it works. And it is using something called LangChain document loaders, which support embedding CSV and JSON and PDF. And it's also using LangChain vector store under the hood.